So there's kind of an interesting little, and who knows, this could all be a bunch of crap, but there is some speculation that the Atlanta Falcons, who are in the market for a quarterback, if you don't believe us, you can just listen to Raheem Morris say if we had better quarterback play, I wouldn't be here last year. They're in the market for a quarterback, and there's some speculation that maybe it isn't Justin Fields that they've got their eye on. Maybe it's Kirk Cousins, that he could be sort of the top priority for them for the offseason. And you've got a couple of different people that are saying that. Paul Allen from K-Fan, who's the voice of the Vikings, he's talked about it, that Kirk Cousins is number one on their list of quarterbacks they'd be interested in. And then you also had Zach Klein of WSB-TV, who told Dukes and Bell sort of the thinking in Atlanta when it comes to Kirk Cousins as their quarterback.
Everybody I talk to says the logical thing is for them to draft, not go to draft. They want to go for a veteran move. All eyes, all arrows, everything points towards Kirk Cousins. You know, Arthur Blank has basically told this front office staff, do what you got to do, pay what you got to pay, get it done. So everybody I talk to, agents, other coaches and scouts, guys around the league, that's the feeling that they are saying. And what they are hearing is that the Falcons will put all their attention on Kirk Cousins moving forward.
You guys buying it?
I would say this. I mean, clearly there's two ways they're looking at this. Veteran guy who's proven and they feel like they have a roster that can win now. Because that's, bringing in a guy that you feel like still have some questions to answer, or a rookie. I mean, you're going through the same thing you were just going through with Desmond Ridder, basically. So I could see that perspective, that standpoint. I'm a little hesitant, though, to wonder how legitimate it would be. The one thing I'll say in their favor is the system will be very similar to what he's running in Minnesota. Zach Robinson's going to run something very similar to what Kevin O'Connell's running. Both stem from Sean McVay's coaching tree, so that system will be almost the same. So verbiage-wise, it won't be as big of an adjustment. I guess I just look at it and say, all right, is this another Hall of Fame move by Kirk Cousins? Like we've seen him throughout the course of his career. He is in the Hall of Fame of business in the NFL. And we heard a report about a month or two ago, I think it was, that Minnesota wasn't going to sign him to a fully guaranteed deal like they did, the last time. And I wonder if this is just a leverage play where your agent's trying to put some stuff out there to drum up, some interest, because these are all media folks. And if you don't present it like it's coming from the team or from some of these different angles, then it's going to sound like it came from the agent, so it doesn't sound as credible. But the way it's being proposed and positioned sounds like it could be coming from an agent. So all I'm saying is if you are Kirk Cousins and his representation and you're a free agent and you're trying to maximize, which he always does, his market value and get that fully guaranteed deal like I'm sure he's still looking for, you've got to bring someone else to the party. Can't just be negotiating with Minnesota. You bring in Atlanta, probably not Pittsburgh because they can't structure the contract the way he would want. And maybe they don't want to go that route anyway. But you have to bring another person to the party. And that's where Atlanta comes into play.
So where did this report come from? Where did it originate from?
So K-Fan, Paul Allen of K-Fan, he said that Kirk Cousins is the guy that they're most interested at quarterback. And then you also had Zach Klein of WSB-TV.
So nothing official from...
No, neither team. It's radio personalities, one from Minnesota and then one from Atlanta.
Well, if it didn't come from an inside source at the Falcons camp, I don't think there's any real weight to it. I mean, if you start hearing Raheem Morris or you heard it from Arthur Blank. Blanks?
Yeah, Blank.
Why am I thinking Billy Blanks?
Yeah.
All right. If you heard it from Arthur Blank or someone of an official, capacity to the organization, then this becomes a conversation. But until then, it's more or less, what is Minnesota going to do? And Minnesota has to take. Listen, I'll say this. Baltimore took a risk with Lamar Jackson last year. Baltimore did with Lamar Jackson, and it worked out for them. So if I'm Minnesota, I'm sitting there like, hey, look, if the market says that I can put because they put the franchise tag on him, right? Or are they going to?
No, they can't for Cousins.
They can't put it on.
He's
so
got
he
his
is like a
contract, they
pure free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think even in this scenario, Minnesota has an advantage. I do. I think they have an advantage. And if it is a team that comes out and says we're going to offer whatever it is that it takes to get Kirk Cousins, then I guess it's a win. But I think right now the best decision would be for Minnesota to try to bring him back. And if I'm a team that's on the outside looking in, I'm saying this guy is coming off of an Achilles injury. He's coming off of Achilles injury, and do we want to take that chance? I mean, we just watched another guy go down to the same exact injury, and he went to another team, and you paid to bring him there, and you were putting the whole entire season on the shoulders of this guy, and he goes down in the first game. I'm just saying those are things that I would assume that you're going to take into consideration before you go out there and start spending crazy amounts of money on bringing in a quarterback thinking that he's going to be that missing piece to what it is that you're doing.
I've been putting together a list. I want to throw it by you guys. Tell me what you think. So Brady pointed out Kirk Cousins, Hall of Fame of NFL business as far as contracts and all that.
Stands on it.
So I've put together
on it.
You tell me what you think of this. I put together a Mount Rushmore of business in the NFL. These are the top 4 players in NFL history when it comes to business. I got Kirk Cousins. I got Ndamukong Suh. I got Darrelle Revis.
Yep.
And I got Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
It's a good list.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. Watson's obviously got to be the highest up there because this one contract he'll make with the Browns is more than the 12 seasons of what Cousins has made. Now, granted, Cousins wasn't drafted in the first round, so there's that. But he's made almost $232 million in his career. Watson's obviously getting what 230?
like cool 12 years of work. Yeah. Here's one for you, and he gets 230 guaranteed.
Yeah, after not even playing this season. So
I think it's a good list.
It still will go down as one of the craziest deals in NFL history. Like when people look back who like weren't born or like didn't live through this time, they'll be like, "Wait, what was happening? What was he accused of? What?" And he signed where? With oh wow, okay. I mean that's it. It still will always be viewed as one of the craziest signings in NFL history.
Yeah, and it's your Brownies, baby. Your Brownies. And Kevin Stefanski and company are going to be flying to Los Angeles to meet with Deshaun Watson because he's recovering from his surgery. So saw that little tidbit be thrown out there.